When are we going to stop making people feel good about how bitter sometimes the word of God is because of how cut and dry it is? We didn't write the Bible. We as believers did not write the Bible. Why are we trying to change the Bible to fit what other people want us to have it fit? It doesn't make sense.
About the woman, the adulterous woman, right? It was actually the people who wanted to stone her were the religious people. Pharisees and Sadducees said the law says we need to stone her. And Jesus didn't come to do what was right. He came to do what was good. And the right thing, legally, stone her. This is our law. This is the law. This is our law. Nobody will get mad at you. This is the law.
All right, y'all, let's get into this real quick because I did another video on Kevin on Stage. And let me just say this because I have one up there and he's telling the story of Lot, which he did not tell it correctly. And so I did read some of the comments and people are like, it don't matter. No Kevin slander. Baby, we talking about the word of God. Don't nobody come above God. And the only way that you believe that is if you're not a believer, which means you on the wrong page, baby. Okay? Go on over there and find something else to do. Now that we got that out the way. No, we are not slandering Kevin. I'm not slandering Kevin, but I am using the videos to be able to correct him and what he's saying and some of the other men who made some statements that were incorrect. One of the things I understand, like I said in the other video, is that we can get that word wrong in the Bible. I've done it one time myself, and that's why I depend on looking up the word because sometimes I try to go off the dome and I can't. So what it does is it causes a lot of harm when we tell those stories incorrectly, especially when people trust us. And so I feel like there are a lot of people that trust Kevin to know his word. And I'm not saying that he doesn't. He may not just know it by heart, right? And we all mess up. And so this is one of the reasons why I've decided to kind of put the right information out there with much love to Kevin on Stage. Because again, I said before, if y'all would just watch the whole video with the people who love reels, I like Kevin and I like his wife, Melissa. Don't know them personally, but I think that they give out a lot of positive energy. And so absolutely not. I'm not slandering, but I do want to make some corrections. And so we're going to talk about what Kevin is talking about with the woman who committed adultery. We're going to get into that. And so it's extremely important that we do know who was there because it wasn't the Sadducees and the Pharisees. It was the scribes and the Pharisees. And the difference between the two, let's talk about that real quick first. I got my notes. So the scribes were more like teachers. So they were teachers of the law. Okay. So they were experts in applying scriptures. The Sadducees were more of a Jewish sector, wealthy priestly families. That's what they were. So that's the difference between them. So the scribes and the Pharisees brought the woman who committed adultery to Jesus and was like, uh-oh, you got a stoner.
But he said he who was without sin cast the first stone, right? And I think that's an example of being good, not right. And I think that's how I've lived my life.
Okay, y'all. So Kevin does have a point, but I'm going to tell you there's a piece of the context that he missed. So yes, Jesus did say, he who is without sin, throw the first stone at the woman. And the reason why Jesus made that statement and said that to the scribes and the Pharisees is because they were trying to trap Jesus. This is the important context of that. And Jesus knew those men were trying to trap him. They wanted to see if Jesus was going to reject the law of Moses or was he going to uphold the law of Moses. Keep in mind, Moses was in the Old Testament, and Moses is already passed and gone on. So Jesus is in the New Testament and Jesus knows this. And so instead of Jesus falling into their trap where they would be able to crucify him with their words, oh, you weren't merciful if he had said stone her, or if he didn't follow didn't follow the law, then they would have said, oh, you didn't follow the law of Moses, so you gonna reject the law. You know how y'all be acting. Let me stop. Y'all know how we do. We want to get somebody in a little pickle. We want to find ways to make ourselves seem right. And that is why Jesus asked them about their sin. But before he even asked them, he stooped down, he wrote in the ground with his finger, and they kept nagging Jesus. And that's when he asked them, if you ain't sinned, then go throw a stone at her. Now, to further the story, another piece that's missing is Jesus then asked the woman, did any one of them condemn you? And she said, no one, Lord. Because the men who had accused her of adultery, they walked away. They left. So when Jesus got her answer, he said, well, I won't condemn you either. Go away from here and sin no more. My God, today. That all of this is so important. The context of the story is super important because we'll have people like, yeah. But it was extremely important to know that Jesus showed her mercy like he shows all of us. Man, does he show us mercy when we mess up. When people try to point fingers at us knowing that they have messed up and we mess up, but they make our mess ups seem so much bigger than theirs. And they want us to be stoned. I'm not talking about the people who want to see you do right and are righteously judging you, because there's a difference. And I think that people get that confused. I'm talking about the people who want to see you stoned. Like they want to see your platform taken down. You say one wrong thing, they trying to contact YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Take her down. Take him down. Those people, because they didn't like you in the first place. They can sin all day long. But you say anything, those people can write nasty comments. They can do all of the things, but let you say something wrong. They are ready for you to be stoned. And I'm using this example because this is a way for people who are creators to understand, as well as people who put comments in the comment section. And so there is a time where Jesus is like, no. I'm not going to allow you to stone this person. What I am going to do is question you about your sin. Have you been righteous all the time? Have you ever made a mistake? No. And so that is what Jesus did in this situation. He showed mercy to her, but also showed them that they were sinners and that they need to get themselves together, or as the old folks used to say, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. All right, I hope this conversation helped y'all and it was enlightening. I have more to come. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notifications, and hit the like, okay, so that other people can get this information. I know that Joe Budden has way more followers than I do, way more subscribers, and I just want to make sure that people actually know the true word and the full context, all right? So y'all let me know what y'all think below, because that's what I'm here for.